me give you a story real quick, all right? I remember
Here
one
we
time
go.
there was a guy I knew, and he was dating this woman, and to my understanding, he was doing his thing on the side, right?
Uh-oh.
And one day, I guess the woman found out. Maybe a girl called her or she saw messages somewhere, I don't know. But she found out, she calls him on the phone, and at this moment, he's in my presence while he's on the phone, while she calls him. So now she's arguing with him, and they're going back and forth, and they're yelling, boom, boom, boom.
So, here we go. So this is Stefan Speaks, and he's the kind of guy that lies to women to, to get money, basically. Let's see what he has to say.
Boom. Well, she's mainly yelling at him. But before you know, I start paying attention. He starts screaming at her. Now he's yelling at her. And so now they're going back and forth, back and forth. But by the end of the conversation...
So here's the thing, guys. Notice already. The guy has not mentioned that this girl chose that man. She chose to be with a guy that cheats on her. She chose to be with a man that lies to her. She chose to be with a man that scams her. She chose to be with the man that's about to do this thing you're about to hear right here.
He's the more dominant one as far as attacking, arguing, yelling, cursing.
Ah, right. So Stefan here, what he's implying is that it's bad for men to be dominant. It's bad for men to lead. It's bad for him to do that. Well, okay. First of all, if the girl is going to pick a guy who has multiple options, she shouldn't be upset when the guy exercises those multiple options, considering that again, women know when they're with a guy who has multiple options. They know. So when they're upset like this and causing exploding drama, like it's a disaster, right? But no mention is made of that because this guy's a female dating coach, right? So why would he ever mention any negative things that girls can do?
And I can tell that she has now become more docile. And so by the end of the conversation, this man hangs up the phone. He looks at me. Mind you, he was just all in a rage, right? He looks at me and he falls out laughing.
Right. So, oh man, the guy is, right? Like such a manipulator, such an evil man, such a terrible guy, worst man in the world. But no mention at all, Stefan, no mention at all that the girl picked that guy. No, you got to blame it on the man. The man is terrible. The man is the bad guy. The man is evil. Well, here's the thing. If you don't want evil men to be selected and reproduced, then tell women that they shouldn't be choosing those men.
That is just a perfect example of how some men will manipulate the situation and turn everything on you.
Right. So no accountability on the girl, on any girl listening's part, right? No, honey, you didn't do anything wrong. He's the manipulator. He turned it all on you. You have nothing to blame for yourself. There's nothing you did wrong. It's the man's fault. Great advice, Stefan. Wonderful. Amazingly well done. What will women learn from this advice? What they'll learn is it's never my fault. It's always what the man does. And they're just going to keep choosing the same kind of man. And then they're going to end up 35, 38, 45 with cats and boxed wine. Because your advice is useless, Stefan. Your advice actively hurts women, Stefan.
All right? So you caught him doing something wrong, but somehow it ends up being about you. He lied to you about something, but now it ends up being about you. He's acting inappropriately, but now he's accusing you.
So he's acting inappropriately. You see? So what is the implication Stefan is making here? The implication that Stefan is making is never enter into a relationship that's not in your frame, women. It always has to, you have to be the one in power. You have to be the one in charge. And women, don't take any accountability. Don't take any responsibility. Don't change your decisions. Don't change your choices. It's always the man's fault. The man is the manipulator. The man is evil. The man is bad. Guys, you cannot make this shit up. Hello and welcome to heliosblog. My name is Helios. here for another reaction video. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, hit the sub, hit all for notifications. If you'd like to support me further, I do have a Patreon with exclusive content, patreon.com/theheliosblog. Just go there and subscribe to any tier. Any level of support is appreciated. Let's continue here with Stefan Speaks. What a great dating coach he is.
Of acting inappropriately. Men who are playing games, these types of men, and let me make it very clear, not all men play these games. Not all men.
No, they don't. Only the men that women choose play these games. When they're 18 to 23 in their highest agency, right? When they're the most attractive, when they're at their SMV peak, who do girls choose to have these relationships with? They don't choose Beta Billy. No. They choose Chad. And Chad acts like this. Again, before, in the holy books, the culture, everything, it would tell girls, don't choose Chad. Chad will destroy you. Things are going to go really bad for you if you don't make wise decisions when you're young, etc., etc. But nowadays it's no, you go queen, nothing's wrong, none of your choices are wrong, it's all the men's fault. Men are terrible, men are the worst. And he's saying not all men, right? He's saying, but again, just the men that these girls are choosing. That's implied in the story, that women are choosing these kinds of men. So again, reintroduce shaming, reintroduce the holy books, reintroduce the cultural norms that prevent this garbage for women. Because if they're not introduced, if they're not in place, what happens? This happens, and then sociopathic men like Stefan use it to their advantage to make money. Because Stefan doesn't care about women, because if he did, he would tell them the truth. But of course, guess what happens if you tell women the truth in 2022? Well, your channel gets demonetized.
Men are doing this nonsense. So do not project this onto all men. But are there men who are behaving in this dysfunction? Absolutely.
Right, and who are the girls choosing? Those men.
And those men are very good at turning the tables on you, making it about you. They have learned how to successfully take the spotlight off of them and put it on you. Now understand something. A guy who's serious about you isn't, I'm not gonna sit here and say a genuinely good dude has never gotten defensive, all right? I'm not gonna say that a genuinely good dude who loves you has never inappropriately threw something back at you when you attacked them.
Here we go. So again, guys, what is the implication that Stefan is making? It's inappropriate when a guy talks to you. Like what girls think like this? Girls that are in their lady phase think, oh, that's such an inappropriate way to talk to me. I know my worth. I'm strong and independent. Don't you dare talk to me that way. You know who thinks like this? The girls that follow this guy's channel. This guy's a master manipulator. This guy's a master of getting exactly the girl that is, has made bad decisions, she can't get a man, and she just desperately is looking for dating advice, right? When really the dating advice was go back to your 20s where you left all the good men that you rejected for the bad men that you chose. And like, this guy is a master manipulator, right? Like he's saying, these men will turn it on you, and a good man will never be defensive. A good man will never go against you. A good man will never, try to be in charge. A good man will just follow your lead like a good doggy. Like, it's just utterly and totally and completely ridiculous, Stefan, that you are allowed to give this advice and destroy women by doing this, right? That you're allowed to cynically manipulate these women and lie to them and use it for your material gain. That, man, it hurts me to see. It's disgusting, frankly.
But that's the key word. If they felt attacked, then yes, it can set the stage for that. And that's why it's always important, why I always encourage you guys to express yourself in a more calm manner, to not attack. Even though, yes, some addressing certain issues can be labeled as attack by people who don't want to have to talk about it, who don't want to have to own up to it, all right? But
Right. So what is Stefan saying? Stefan is saying, bring up all the issues, make it your way, make him change his behavior. Don't attack in a angry, aggressive way. No, be nice about it. But again, the implication is everything needs to be in your frame. Everything needs to be in girls' frame. Everything needs to be girls' way. And who responds to this? Girls that have been taught wrong their entire lives. Girls that are trained to be dominant instead of submissive. Girls that have made poor decisions, who this guy is exploiting and manipulating for his own material gain. It's disgusting. All right, here's an article by Rollo Tomasi. This one is called Sorry. So again, he is the author of The Rational Male. Just look it up. Apologizing for a lack of game isn't game. One disservice I think most men tend to overlook is an attitude of self-depreciation that they'll resort to as a means of engendering interest in a potential woman by attempting to play to her sympathies. Case in point. Subject. My apologies for being a complete douche. Body. I actually wanted to call and talk to you tonight, but I just moved into my new place today and I lost track of time and now it's after midnight. Anyways, I was a complete tool the last time we talked. I thought about what you said to me and I really have been lame lately. I think back to our first example of dates and I realized what a complete and boring reject I was. Those weren't so much dates as me trying way too hard to impress you as someone that was mature, bad word choice, but I don't know what I was doing, and not myself. Anyways, I now realize I need to get this pole out of my bum and start having fun again in my life, which is why I've been in a drunken stupor for the last 2 weekends. I hope we can start hanging out again because I do enjoy your company, but I promise if we do, I will drink, relax, and not be such a wallflower. I also promise no more bad texts. I hate when people do that to me, so I can only imagine how stupid I look when I do it. This was an actual email passed on to me from a young woman I counsel after she blew this guy off over the course of 3 dates, and is one of the many emails and texts I've gone over time and time again with women. This is a textbook example of how men will resort to self-depreciation tactics in order to provoke an "it's okay, I understand" sympathy response from a woman, with the expectation that she'll take pity on him for being a flawed man and give him a second or third or fourth chance. This is a direct manifestation of men being socially conditioned to recognize and acknowledge their weaknesses, and in confessing them, they'll become strengths and ergo attractions, since they mistakenly believe that doing so will make them not like other guys and therefore unique. You see, I'm really a sensitive, introspective guy willing to cop to his own character flaws. Please love me. So here's the iron rule of Tomasi number 9. Never self-deprecate under any circumstance. Once you've accepted yourself and presented yourself as a complete douche, there's no going back to confidence with a woman. Never appeal to a woman's sympathies. Her sympathies are given by her own volition, never when they are begged for. Women despise the obligation of sympathy. Nothing kills arousal like pity. Even if you don't seriously consider yourself pathetic, it never serves your best interest to paint yourself as pathetic. Self-depreciation is a misguided tool for the idiot and not something that would ever occur to a strong man. So, don't self-depreciate. Again, this dating coach here, what is he talking about? He's talking about the fact that he wants men to put themselves down for women effectively, right? They need to be in women's frame. They need to do as women want. They need to be under women. That's the implication behind this guy's tone and the way he's talking and what he's saying. It's all in a female-focused, centric frame. And it's sad because, again, when women are in control of a relationship, what happens? They end up miserable because they don't want to be in control. So when the guy teaches the girls that they should be doing this, he's actually hurting them. And this is what kills me. He probably knows what he's doing, right? But it's shameful that he would do this and manipulate like this. It's shameful.
You have to be honest with yourself when you know you came with the right energy versus you lashed out and attacked. Because sometimes you're accusing, and in some situations, he may have not done anything wrong. So his...
Again, this, I have no idea what this... It's just gobbledygook here. I have no idea what this guy's even saying right now. But I think what he's trying to say is, if you're unhappy with something, watch your tone because guys don't respond well to being attacked. True, in fact, men value cooperation, and submission. So if the girl is acting as though she's above you and commanding you and being dominant and domineering, there's no way the guy is going to be attracted to the girl unless he's a doormat.
His retaliation is because he feels like he has to defend himself, all right? But I don't want to deviate too far from the main point here, because many of you have experienced or seen when the man is intentionally turning the tables on you. And when he does that, when he is unwilling to own what you want to address first, then that's a huge problem. And
again, if the man is not owning up to what you want to address first, let's talk about what a problem that idea is. It's not about, again, the implication is that the girl should be in frame control. The girl controls how the relationship goes. The girl controls how the conversations go. The girl controls what she likes, what she doesn't like. And if your girl is doing that, she's not your girl. She's your master. Men don't want to be in a relationship with a girl who's his master. That's like dating your mother. Like somebody who, like, no, like the dynamic is all wrong. Men need to be in charge of the relationship. So by implying that what the girl wants in whatever order she wants is how things are correctly supposed to be done, you're actively destroying the actual masculine-feminine dynamic that's necessary for happy relationships. So you're actively hurting the girls who you're trying to help. And this, to me, is disgusting.
And that's definitely a
terrible,
sign of a
Stefan.
guy who's playing you and a guy you need to stay away from.
And it's hilarious, right? That, again, this Stefan guy, like, anyway, we're going to continue. We're going to go to the next video by this guy. Let's see.
Men are confusing, they're frustrating, and it just
Sorry, let me turn it up.
Huge annoyance to the point where a lot of women don't want to bother with dating and relationships.
Right. It's, again, Stefan, anything to take the blame off of women, anything to defer responsibility onto men, anything to take the blame away from women, anything to not put any kind of responsibility or accountability on them, right? It's always men do this, men are this, men are that. And you, honey, you didn't do anything wrong. You're a queen, strong and independent. No. This is the totally wrong mentality. And all it serves to do is hurt actively the women.
And it all stems from the fact that a lot of women feel men are throwing them mixed signals. All right?
No, the only men that throw mixed signals are Chad. The top 5 to 10% of men who have like infinite options, who see some of these women as, you know, disposable because they have so many girls, those men might send mixed signals. So they'll be, you know, attracted to the girl one day and then, you know, they got another option the next day so they can drop her. Or whatever, they have 5 girls already, she's number 6 for a day, you know, on a Wednesday night, but the guy doesn't really care about her. But that's not mixed signals. It's very clear when you first meet a guy what kind of guy he is. If he's the kind of guy who's 6 foot plus, has a 100K plus job per year, you know, is physically fit, etc., like, and charismatic, it's very obvious this guy is going to have access to many women. And then when that guy doesn't commit to you right away, like, how can you possibly be surprised and think that the guy is sending mixed signals? It's utterly ridiculous, right? But that's where so many of these modern women go, right? So, I mean, there you go.
Does he like me? Does he not like me? What the hell is actually going on? So I want to break down why these men, or why some men, are sending you mixed signals, but also how you need to better handle it and the things you need to understand about this whole dynamic. Now, let me make clear real quick, none of these things are validation, so to speak, of a man's behavior when he is giving you mixed signals. I'm just explaining it to you so you can have clarity about the situation, but again, there's a bigger picture I want you to hear at the very end. So the first reason why men send you mixed signals is because he wants you, but he doesn't think he's the one for you.
What? He wants you, but he doesn't think he's the one for you is the worst possible advice you could give girls. What? No. that just helps women to hamster away getting with Chad. It actively hurts them. Terrible advice, Stefan. Oh my, this Stefan's advice is terrible. Oh my God, Stefan. What are you doing, Stefan? He knows what he's doing too. Look at his eyes. Like, do those look like honest, nice eyes, or do those look like the eyes of a manipulator, of a shark? You can tell by his eyes what he's doing, right? He's... Oh, man. Okay.
For you. So let me give you a quick story. I remember years ago, I was in Uber driving. It was in Miami. And the Uber driver, it was a man, and he recognized me, right? So we get to talking about relationships and dating, and he needed some advice with a situation he was facing. And after we addressed his situation, he brought up this very profound point to me. He said, you know, growing up, women are fed the whole fantasy idea of the happily ever after. Not saying people don't live happily ever after, but just saying a lot of more women are fed that through the movies, the books, cartoons, whatever, right?
That's the first correct thing that Stefan has said. Yes, women are fed the bullshit lie that the Disney fairy tale exists, and they seek this Prince Charming. But Prince Charming is actually just, he's just the hypergamous ideal, right? He's the representation of that. He's a young, attractive, tall man with money, right? That's Prince Charming, who's also charismatic, and who also has a good family. Like that's what it is. It's the hypergamous ideal for women. And to teach women that they can all have Prince Charming is ridiculous, right? Of course, not all women can. It's only the princess. But not all, but many of these girls in 2022, they see themselves as the princess. So there you go.
However, what he has noticed is that as adults, and in addition to the whole happily ever after, the whole concept of the one, all right, that one person is something that women are fed more often. However, what he's noticed and observed is that as adults, men seem to hold stronger to that, all right? Men seem to be the one that's like, yeah, I like her, but she's not the one, or I don't think I'm right for her.
Yeah, the concept, so this is actually the very first chapter of The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi. And he's right. Stefan is right here. That more men believe in the one than women, even though most women believe in the one. But men are fooled by the concept of the one. So the very first chapter of The Rational Male says this: there is no one. There is no one special girl who will fulfill all of your desires and love you like your mother did. There is no one. There are many ones and many girls that could make you very happy out there. And if a girl is treating you badly, you have no obligation to stay with her because, again, there are many ones out there. So, there you go. And again, this myth of the one, it hurts men because they stay in situations that are terrible for them because they believe that that girl is the one, that she's the one and only, the best he'll ever have, etc. It's obviously bullshit. All right, we'll continue with this in we're gonna do a 3-part series on this guy, so don't worry, we'll continue next time. Let's just go to the Reddit article here. Okay, so this is from Relationship Advice. It was posted 5 hours ago. Yeah, 5 hours ago. I opened up to him about something private, and he won't speak to me. I, 22, have been with my boyfriend, 27, for 3 years, posting from a spam account because he knows my other one. We've seemed to always have a great relationship and don't have any blowout arguments anymore after working through certain problems. However, this past weekend we had a bad argument and went back to a place we haven't been in over a year. We were going out for a friend's birthday and were drinking and eventually decided to go home after a friend of ours had been, bad things happened at the bar. Everyone made sure she got home safe to us. Oh my God, what? She was out at a bar drinking without what? And she just casually mentions this. No, this is a huge red flag. You don't date girls that have friends like this. You don't. No, 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 no. Because your girl's gonna do that too. No, it's terrible. Okay. Anyway, I was pretty drunk, but not blacked out. And we were talking about what happened, and I drunkenly opened up to him about when I first started college and joined a sorority and had some bad things happen with 2 guys. I went to the police and everything was sorted. I'd never told him or anything else about it because they didn't need to know legally. I don't know what made me open up about it. He was upset, but not at what happened to me, but because he said I lied to him about my body count. When we met, I'd only ever been with one other guy and just never counted what happened that night because I was so embarrassed. I never even thought about it like that. Anyway, he hasn't really spoken to me and he's not even sleeping in our bed. I don't know how to handle this. I swear I didn't mean to come off as being sneaky. He said that I was hiding it from him and there had to be a reason. But it wasn't, it's just I've never really felt comfortable talking to people that know me about it because they just look at you different. What can I do to help talk to him about this? I cry every time I see the way he looks at me. We haven't had a moment like this in so long, I don't know what to do. Too long didn't read, I opened up about something bad in my past and my boyfriend. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying every time this happens, but sometimes girls will say that they were taken advantage of, but actually they were enjoying this moment with 2 guys. Right? So you're hiding. Again, it's that dynamic also in the rational male, right? I married a lady of the night who sleeps with me like a prude would, right? So you're willing to have like a threesome with these guys, but with me, you won't do anything, right? Type of thing. And if that's the case, I mean, I don't know what to tell you, right? Now, of course, if this was a legitimate thing, I'm so sorry it happened to you. But I'm pretty sure that's where the boyfriend's coming from. Let's see what the comments are saying here. Girl, you need to run. Get out of that relationship right now. Any man getting upset that that bad things happen to you because they think it adds to some body count is a loser. Yeah, that's not the perspective he's coming at it from. The amount of loser on this guy is unbelievable. I'm raging for this girl. Okay, he needs to be dumped. Everybody's saying dump him. All right. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to end the video there. Again, thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you took the time out of your busy day to listen to the end of the video. I really do appreciate it. If you're new to the channel, liking the content, like and subscribe. Thanks so much, guys, and I will see you next time.